Oh,
Oh, there it goes.
oh,
There it goes. Okay,
you didn't even
guys.
give me a warning. I'm over here just fucking greaseball, man.
No,
Maybe
it looks good.
we can kick it off with this. Taylor, tell me if you've ever heard of this at-home remedy I just remedied this morning. So my hair, I've always wanted to not have to shower every day and wash my hair every day. But my hair gets really greasy very quickly. I know you have to train it, but it doesn't always work depending on what I eat. And so I've used baking powder or baking soda, like dry shampoo. And
yeah, you can do that.
works.
Also, baby powder will work too.
Look at this. So the baby powder actually clumped once. So I was like, no,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
doing
just
this.
like also, yeah, baking soda though, like any type of powder in any way. So like I use dry shampoo all the time. I did that earlier on my hair, even though it's clean, it gives it more volume. So
Yeah.
it's just like literally same concept. That's actually a cheaper way to go, to be honest with you. I probably should do the same thing, you know, and it honestly, just because the powder grips. So when you move your hair, you can style it in any way that you absolutely want to. So
I
they
should be
actually
using it
have
every
like
day.
products. The one that I use is the Redken powder grip, which is the same concept. You literally just just sprinkle it on your hair and you can literally like move it to any way that you want. It's like really cool. So
Okay.
you're like
Well,
right
we'll be
on the money with that.
Thank you. We need more tips like that throughout, because some of us are dirty hippies. So.
I mean, I've been working in like the beauty industry my whole entire life. So it's just like, I know hair products and I know like skincare products. So it's just like,
She
I've
knows
used like
things.
everything. So
well, this is the right episode for me and hopefully some of our listeners. So
we learned today.
We gonna learn today. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
We need that scoop. So
okay. Well, should I do a quick little intro or should we just jump right in?
Welcome her in.
Let's welcome this bitch
introduction.
All right.
Welcome, Taylor. Thank you so much for being here. We're so excited to have you. Taylor, you and I, we became friends, what, 6, 7 months ago, 8 months at the pool here at the Palms. And then it was history ever since. And we've just been hanging out, and I've been learning about your skincare business. And so we wanted to bring you on the show today. We're so excited to learn more and get to know you.
You know, I talk about it all the time too,
all
regardless.
The time. All the time.
Like literally all the time. So
well, it's your passion.
You're passionate about it.
I literally, if I go out to the bar, I end up always finding somebody to talk to about skincare. And
one night we went out, Bez, and she found a dental hygienist, and they were just going back and forth with like oral care and skincare, like all for hours. And I was sitting there drinking my beer.
Oh my God, it was like 3 hours. Oh my God, yeah, that was really fun. We were just going back and forth. Yeah, it was a good time. I like to talk.
So what's it like doing what you love every day?
Oh my God, I love it. I swear, it's like my favorite thing to do. I actually love going to work. Like, and if like I'm ever feeling some type of way, like when I get in my treatment room, I am like legit like in the zone, and it's like everything that is going on around me, outside factors, just kind of like drifts away, because I'm so involved in like what I'm doing and like with my client at that time, and so present that it's like I don't focus on anything else but that. And it's just like, it's the like best feeling in the world. Like, it's literally almost like an escape for me, but it's like my job, and it's also like my hobby and my passion, all like wrapped into one thing.
That's
so it's like the best thing ever. Like to wake up and be excited to go to work every day is like an amazing feeling. So you don't get
happy
that.
For you.
Thank you. So I'm happy too. I've worked so many different jobs, and I'm like, this is like, I mean, I've been doing this for like 7 years, but when I really started my own business was when I was like, I really felt like completely confident and in control of everything I was doing. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's my thing, you know, and I'm passionate about my thing, and I want to give like 150% like every day to every single person. So it's just like, it's different when it's your thing. It just makes it like all the more better. So
wow.
Well, you're living that dream where they told us, and they told us growing up, if you're doing what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So I love that. Sounds like that's what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
It's a great feeling.
So you said
So,
you've worked a bunch of jobs before this. Can you tell us like what you did and what led you here?
oh, you kind of glitched out a little bit, but so I've been in the beauty industry since I was 15 years old. My first job was working in a hair salon and shampooing hair, and I've literally done that on and off for like since I was 15 years old. So I'm like 28. So I'm like, what is that, 13 years? I've been doing that. I worked in like various salons. I was shampooing hair, receptionist, managed the salon, pretty much like booked appointments, assisted like 7 stylists. Also worked in like the restaurant industry. I did 2 years working bartending and serving at a strip club in the city of Chicago when I was like 23. And so, I mean, like, I've done so many different, I worked in a naturopathic and Ayurvedic clinic. That's when I moved out here. And that's how I ended up getting really into the holistic side of aesthetics. Cause like I built up a aesthetic portion of that business, which is basically how I got set up to build my own business. Cause I had to start from scratch because the woman had, she doesn't do aesthetics. So I built that part of it. And then I got really into the holistic side of things. So now I'm more in like clean beauty and like non-toxic ingredients, organic, all of that. And I've learned a bunch of like old school modalities too. So like I use a lot of gua sha and like jade rollers and marma point massage. So like I've just like done like it all. And I've also done medical. So it's like I'm all over the place. I've done a wide variety of things. So
Yeah.
but everything comes back to the beauty industry. I've been in that for years and I always go back to it. And like even just washing hair, when I was home and I go to Chicago like every 2 months to go work and take clients. And I work out of my old salon there. And I actually took a day while I was there to just shampoo after I was done working on clients because it's something that I'm really good at. And I actually find it a lot of fun and I like talking to people and I'm really good at like scalp massage. So it's just like,
Girl,
it makes me feel, yeah, I'm like, I got really strong hands. I've played piano and guitar my whole life. So it's like, I got really good hands. And I feel like going back and doing shampooing at like 28, even though I own my own business, it like completely humbles me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, this is where you started. This is how you get started in the industry. Like, you might own your own business and might be kicking ass, but like, this is like what you know. This is what you did and started as. So
I love that.
That's pretty cool.
Wow,
So,
undercover boss over here.
I've done a lot.
Undercover boss.
Yeah.
It sounds like that really helps you. It sounds like that really helps you keep perspective, and I'm sure it allows you to practice more gratitude for where you are now and how far you've come. And then I'm curious, so then how did you start Free Spirit Aesthetics? Tell us about that journey and how you started and all that.
So Free Spirit Aesthetics it was just out of nowhere pretty much. So I had made an Instagram. I changed my name to Free Spirit Aesthetics. I didn't want to change my name, but I thought I had to go professional. So I did that while I was still working at the clinic. Then I was looking for other jobs and because it just wasn't really working for me over there. And I went and got hired at a medical spa in North Scottsdale. And this woman promised me like the world pretty much. She was like, I'm looking for a partner. I got this medical spa. You're going to make it like $4,000 a month. All this stuff. I want you to manage my place, which I'm also really good with management. And like, I know how to run a business. And so I went there. This is like literally in January. Worked there for like a month and a half. And then she just decided that she didn't want to like have her business anymore. And then just moved to Puerto Rico with her like rich boyfriend and then just closed it down. So she just left me high and dry. So I was like, oh my God. And I literally was like, what am I going to do? I'm like, I just left my job of 2 years. I don't like, where do I go from here? And COVID was just starting. Like I lost my job in February. This woman didn't even pay me the last 2 weeks that I worked.
No.
Yeah, like nothing. So freaking never heard from her again. Like, So I was just like, okay. And I'm like, for someone who's been in the industry for 20 years, that's pretty bogus. And I kind of had a feeling something was going on because I found multiple people's like business cards there. And I was like, something seems weird about this, like that nobody has stayed with her. So she left me high and dry, and I started going on Craigslist looking for jobs, and like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then I came across this studio, which is a part-time studio in Old Town Scottsdale, and the rent for Old Town, working like 4 days a week, very, 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 very good. Very minimal overhead. Like, so all I needed was like product and like supplies, and like I'd be able to get started. So I just was like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna sign the lease for this place, and I'm gonna open up my own studio. Like, let's see what's gonna happen. Like, I can totally do it. I had some money like already banked, so I was like, you know what? I've got money. I've got cash. I'll be fine. And then I signed my lease for March 15th, and then they shut down Arizona. I was supposed to open on March 15th, and then quarantine happened.
Yeah.
So I wasn't prepared because like I had just like sprung into this. So it's like it was like a blessing in disguise. And so I took that and I ran with it, and I spent every day of quarantine literally waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning and getting on my computer and like working on the business, building up my like Instagram content, building website, ordering products, getting the services in order, like everything that I could possibly do, marketing material, like just and really focusing on my Instagram presence. And I ended up jumping into virtual acne consultations online and making money during quarantine before I had even opened the business.
Wow.
So like I made like some money while I was just like literally in quarantine. So by the time everything opened up on May 11th was my first day, I already had clients on the books, and I was already treating people all over the country. So I was just like, I just took it and I ran with it. And then it's just kind of like steamrolled since, considering they were in a pandemic, but it's doing really, really good. And now I'm like booked like 3 weeks out, and it hasn't even hit a year yet. So
that's amazing.
It's pretty
Congrats.
awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
Thank you.
You sound like you were really kind of like your confidence sounds like it was unwavering throughout this. So like, was this not an emotional roller coaster? Because I feel like I probably would have handled the situation a little differently. Like, holy shit, I got to pay rent on this thing. I can't even bring people in. Like, what am I going to do? So did you have any like panic moments, or were you just like, no, just keep it cool? Like, you sound like you were pretty chill about it.
See, the only thing that like, so like my licensing and everything, like getting the room all like licensed and like ready to go and everything, that was frustrating. I did freak out like multiple times. Yeah. Yes, freak out moments. Like my ex-boyfriend was like, oh my God, calm down. And I'm just like, I'm such a perfectionist. Like, I mean, I'm confident in ways, but there were days where I'd be like losing my mind. And I'm just like, oh my God, how am I gonna make this happen? Blah, blah, blah. But then like, I always like, I don't like freak out for like long periods of time. I freak out for like 15 minutes, and then I like sit, and then I'm like, okay, calm down. And anytime I ever try to force anything, it never works out. So it's just like, I have to like really just like, I have to learn to adapt to a lot of things. And that's been my like biggest lesson in like 2020 was learning how to adapt to like any situation that I'm in. So believe me, there were freak out moments, and there will be always. I mean, even now I have freak out moments because I'm so busy. I feel like sometimes I'm losing my mind. And like, you know, so like regardless, it's like you gotta get set up, freak out moments, being super busy, freak out moments. Like it's just like it just happens. It's how you handle it though, I guess, you know.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
And that's why we're going to get mimosas after this.
Much deserved. Absolutely. So
my wife for the day.
I know, I'm jealous. I'm like,
I know, I can't believe she's drinking red wine.
A little shark.
Oh, I love the shark. I remember those.
So cute.
I love it.
It's adorable.
So girl, you mentioned that during quarantine you were focusing a lot on your like Instagram following and content. And girl, I've been seeing you grow you're following like so much over the last few months. You have been booming, girl, and you're so
Yeah.
consistent with your posts and everything. Like Des and I
That's
are,
the tips.
yeah, we're currently trying to work on that now for Trailblazer. So what advice do you have there?
Tell the millennials. I feel like Gen Zers, they like, you look at like a 7th grader and they have like 700 followers. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I look at my phone, I'm like 34 likes. Solid.
I honestly, mine varies. I suck at social media. Like, I'll be completely honest
stop.
with you. I just like, I'm very inconsistent. At least I'm trying to be more consistent.
You're
The
so
more
funny.
consistent I am, the better it is.
You're so funny that you're saying that. You post
I
every
just,
day.
it's true. Like, it's just like, I just like, it's being on social media is so draining that
Yeah.
it's just like, and it's like, it's literally, you put in like, I work on my posts, like, especially like my infographics and like stuff like that, all my skincare content. I work on that for like hours sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Setting that up, getting like all the design together to give somebody like something beautiful to present them like a beautiful image and give them information and everything. I'll tell you what, all those hours of spending on those infographics get me like 20 likes. And
I
I'm
have
like,
2 questions for
and
you.
then I post a picture of myself and I got like 150. And I'm like, what is this? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm just trying to deliver information. But I feel like I've learned that you got to sprinkle in a little bit of personal life and you got to sprinkle in like, the skincare and like all about the business and like what you do. So like, I guess I try to like, I've learned that my following has like doubled in the last like, I don't know, year.
Yeah.
In the last 7 days or like 10 days, I gained like 200 followers. I did like a giveaway and like that was my first giveaway when I hit 1,500 and I gained like 200 followers. And my stuff is just like blowing up right now. But I hired a business coach and I did a
Nice.
couple of sessions with her. And mainly the only thing I know a lot about business. So like the only thing I really wanted to get out of it was social media because that's where I lack. And so I took what I needed and used it to my advantage. And now I think I got a hold on the whole algorithm thing.
Yeah.
Hashtags, like all that, what people want to see, and like how you do post. Like you gotta like you can't just post skincare all the time. You know what I mean? And you can't just post products all the time. Like there has to be like a bunch of different stuff involved. So, and like I like to post about like all things health. You know what I mean? In my stories, I think like people really like my stories too, because I post a lot of stuff about like manifestation and like goal setting and like all that too. So like it kind of just it's just growing. I don't know. It's doing organically. It's going pretty good right now. I think I'm like getting up to 1,700. And I'm like,
Followers.
you know what? If that case, I'm gonna just do like giveaways every 500 followers because that was like so quick. 7 days, I put an ad out and it was just like, boom, like so many comments. And like anytime somebody comments or saves your stuff, that's like an extra like. So it like boosts your stuff and puts it to the top so that other people can see it and discover it. So the saves are very important. Comments are very important. Interactions. There's like a thing on like, if you got a business account Instagram, you can like go and look at your insights. And so like you can see like what times of the day people are looking at your stuff. So that's when you post. So like there's a whole thing behind
Building
it.
our to-do list. Take it easy.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. So if you guys want some pointers, I got you. I'm figuring it out for myself, but it's like working. So it's just like, you gotta like, you gotta utilize the whole thing. There's a lot of stuff on Instagram that nobody even knows exists and how it works. So it's just like other people figured it out. We just gotta figure it out, so.
Well, we definitely want to do that, but I do have a question. How much does the number of followers you have or the number of engagements you have correlate with the number of customers you have, like the amount of money you're making? Does that correlate with, so have you doubled your income because you've doubled your followers? Like, I'm curious how much of an impact that's making.
It's not. It's really done. It's not done that much as far as that goes. But like, the more following, the more engagement you have, the more it pushes your profile like towards other people. You know what I mean? So like you can, and the thing is I do virtual consultations. So for me, I've actually gotten a good amount of business off just Instagram doing virtual consultations. like just around the country. So like it does help in a way. And I'm hoping that later, like I want to put up an online store on there, you know, so people can buy like all things skincare products, maybe like silk, like pillowcases and like all the fun stuff, jade rollers and whatnot. And I just like, I know it's going to get there eventually and hopefully it'll be running like that, like an online business, also partially passive income. I would love that. That's the goal, like, you know, so
Amen.
have like multiple forms of income. I'm very big into finance. It's like seriously, like I watch finance stuff, like investment stuff, like all the time. So that's one thing. It's not directly correlated, but I do get a good amount of business off of Instagram itself. But it's all work in progress. And as you keep building and growing, more people see you and more people want to, you know, reach out to you for your expertise. So
Networking.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Do you have any? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Julie.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, did you have a second question? Because I remember you said you had two.
I did, but I totally forgot the other one, but I have a new one.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm just curious if you wanted to share any of those investment tools, or like, is there a podcast that you like, or a book, or a show, or anything, or a YouTube channel that you want to share for our listeners?
Yeah. So this YouTube channel that I watch I tell everybody about this, by the way. It's called Alux. Somebody had told me about it and I used to watch it all the time at my house. And I actually start my day with that. And it's a YouTube channel where their tagline is where future millionaires go to get inspired.
Okay.
So like this channel is not for everybody. I'll be honest with you, because literally like they say things that you may get offended by. The reason why you're offended is because it's freaking true. And it's just like, it makes me look at myself and go, oh, yeah, I do that. Probably should break that habit. And it makes me more aware, but it also gives me inspiration and different tools on how to, you know, utilize different like options, programs, finances, stock market, like business investments, opportunities, reaching out to people, networking, like, and like even your just mentality, like, you know, like what is the mentality of an entrepreneur? What is a mentality of a successful person? That's what they'll tell you. And there's like, they cover all different types of subjects, but like usually that's how I'll start my day. I drink my coffee, I jump on my computer, I throw that on, and it's in the background, and even like I'll just subconsciously listen to it.
Yeah.
So I do that. And so I do like watch like a lot of like the Robert Kiyosaki stuff as of recently. So like I've been watching that. I go all over the place, like anything to do with like finance and like business. That's what I'm watching. Alux though, 100% look it up. If it's something you're interested in, try not to get offended. Sometimes like I would be sitting there and I would go, oh my God, I can't believe like I'm like feel like personally victimized by what these people are saying. But I'm just like, okay, wait.
You're like, but that's
You're right. You're right. Like I have to break this habit and I have to be aware that this is something that I do and I need to change my mentality. And I've been doing a lot of like working on myself in general and trying to rewire the way I think about things to think in a positive way. So like I always literally watch positive everything, especially as of recently. And I feel like it's made a total different change in like my mentality in general and how I wake up and like look at life. So look it up. It's awesome.
Great. I love this. Channel. I love your attitude, Taylor. Seriously.
Seriously.
And it's resonating. And I love that cup.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just water. There's no beer.
Could have fooled me. No, I love that attitude. And it resonates very much with me because I'm taking that similar approach and like just adopting the right attitude toward life. And also Robert Kiyosaki with the Rich Dad Poor Dad and the real estate investing that I'm doing. But yeah, I just love that. I've noticed a very big difference even in the last week for myself with like attitude change and just like my thought processes. So I'm wondering, like, have you always been so positive? And it seems like you're really disciplined as well, or you've like, okay, so you've adopted this over time.
Oh my God. I am like, so I've had a really wild life. I've done a lot of wild things. I wasn't always this disciplined. Julie knows I'm a party girl. But I make sure like the way that I am now, like I'm older, so I can't like do the things that I used to do. I also don't want to do the things I used to do. And I also like my like childhood growing up wasn't that great. Like, you know, like my family dynamics not that awesome. Like honestly, I'm like my only support system. And it's like I have to be positive all the time because like I don't have really people to lean on. So like really when I got out of my like last relationship, I started doing a lot of soul searching and I actually have an intuitive massage therapist that I work with. And I worked with her at the clinic that I was working at, the Ayurvedic clinic. She's like this psychic woman that's like absolutely amazing. I work with her like once a week on like trauma work, my chakras, my mentality, like everything changes. It's not like just she's a massage therapist, but we don't do just that. We do like guided meditation and like we just go anything that comes up comes up. And I do have kind of like this impeding, like in the past, I've had this impeding negative thought process that likes to like overpower my positive thought process. So what I've been trying to do is like rewire the way that I think and like things that I dealt with growing up that I didn't think actually impacted the way I think. Actually, I'm finding out do, and things I didn't even know were there. So like I'm constantly now trying to work on it like all the time.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a constant process. And sometimes it's very draining.
Mhm.
Sometimes I cry and I'm like, oh my God, life is overwhelming. But to be honest with you, like it's much better this way. Like to just face your stuff and deal with it and like just keep moving forward and make sure that it's not like just sitting there anymore. Like, okay, deal with it, move past it, let's go. We want to keep moving forward. We don't want to like keep this shit holding us down, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
it's been a process. I am very positive, but not all the time. And I try to like pick myself up to stay positive. So there's that.
Well, what's the I don't remember what this is from, but they're like, it's okay to feel sad. Like maybe from like
Yeah,
Forrest Gump.
it is.
Yeah, it is, but yeah, great story. It takes a long time to unlearn
It does.
many of the things that we
Because
as you know, with your inner child, and so just keep healing. Good for you for
Yeah.
exactly.
being patient
You
and
got
being
to.
graceful with yourself.
I
And
think
like
more
honestly,
people,
the more work that you do, the better it gets.
Mhm.
and I think
Sorry.
more people, you're good. You're good. It gets awkward on Zoom. I think more people need to adopt that, what you just described about how you said you should just deal with things head on and move on with your life instead of letting them sit on the side and like fester and like create all this negativity. I don't think enough people look at it that way. They don't think about how they really need to work on the trauma and the shadow side of us and the conditioning that we've been had our whole lives, and they just kind of let it take over. So I think you've adopted
Exactly.
the right tools, it sounds like, for working through
Well,
that.
I've noticed that when I started working on myself and I started taking the initiative, when I hired the business coach, when I started working with my massage therapist, I noticed that my mentality started to shift subconsciously. The way I felt started to shift. And I started realizing that I was meeting people that like I guess I sound really like hippy dippy spiritual or whatever. So like I started realizing that the universe was placing people like in my direction, like at the right time. And I'm like, okay, if you're not doing the work, like that those type of things aren't going to come your way. They're not going to come your way until you're ready for it. So it's like I've noticed that things are unraveling the way that they're supposed to and organically because I'm doing so much work on myself consistently.
I
So
love
it's just
that.
like, and that's almost kind of like a high in itself. It's like I see the progression and I see what's just unfolding and I'm going, okay, this makes me want to keep doing better. Like, you know what I mean? So keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. It's just going to keep getting better and better and better. You're going to keep meeting new people. It's the business is going to keep growing. Like, you know, everything positive happens when you're doing positive things.
Yeah.
You know,
And
karma.
you're seeing the positive, like you just are programming yourself to see all the good instead of the bad too, and then like to have the control over things. Just like a one quick small example, when I leave for work in the morning, John will kiss me goodbye and he's like, I hope, you know, have a good day. And I used to say like, oh, I hope so. And now I'm just like, I am going to have a good day because
Oh
I have
yeah.
control over my day. Like I'm Sorry, it's so loud out there. It's not, I used to feel like the day was happening to me, and now it's like the day's happening for me. And
Yes.
I have control over the day. And it's just like one small change like that can really go a long way.
Mhm.
It's insane. And
Absolutely.
once you start realizing, you're like, holy shit, how much control do I have though?
Right.
The mind is so
What
powerful.
can I
It's, like,
manifest
crazy.
today?
Mhm.
I'm looking at the
Absolutely.
stoplights. I'm like, green. Oh shit, I'm not that powerful though.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
I used to work for my mom. I don't understand.
That's great.
Wow. Taylor, I love it. I really love the woman you're becoming. It's amazing to see. I'm really glad that we became friends. We've been having a lot of fun.
I sought her out. I was like, she's gonna be my friend. Because I was like, I had no friends. Like I didn't have many
I didn't
friends.
either.
And I don't usually I don't usually have a lot of girlfriends. And I was
Me
like,
neither.
I need more girlfriends. I'm like, so I was like, Julie, we're gonna be friends now. I'm like,
Yep. Basically. And then, yep, it was, the rest is history.
I know.
love that. Oh yeah. It's hard to
Here we
make
are.
friends as an adult. It's like,
It's
Oh my gosh, it really is.
yeah.
we need
100%.
recess. Bring back recess.
I know.
Exactly.
I know.
I
Well,
know.
ladies, why don't we switch to a little bit of skincare?
100%.
Let's create a little bit of conversation about skincare. So, Taylor, I just recently started learning about like clean beauty over the last year. I really honestly didn't even know that there was such a thing at all. And I was also that girl that just washed my face and threw like probably really bad lotion on and called it a day. And I just recently learned about like a skincare routine and all that stuff. So, what advice would you have for somebody who wants to find a skincare routine that works for them?
So when it comes to skincare routines, you want to I personally, my recommendation is to seek out a professional.
Okay.
The only reason I say that is because skincare is not one size fits all. And
Okay.
just because an influencer says that that product works for their skin does not mean it works for your skin. And I see people all the time that like products that are supposed to be working for somebody, like because their skin type might be similar, might not work for them. And everybody's got a different sensitivity level. Also, there's no guidance. Like when you're just buying skincare products, you don't even know what type of product you're looking for or what's beneficial for your skin. Most times when I have people come into my treatment room, they're telling me that their skin is the opposite of what it actually is. So I'm like, no, you're not this. You're actually this, and you shouldn't be using these products. You should be using something like a little bit more gentle or calming or hydrating. Also, the overuse of the active ingredients, AHAs, BHAs. Now, people like to over abuse these. So a lot of time when people come into my treatment room, their like barrier is impaired, and I have to go back to the basics, get them on just a cleanser, toner, moisturizer. Within 2 weeks, their skin gets a jump back. But when it comes to seeking out skincare, especially when you buy product in like a retail store like Ulta or Sephora, I'll be honest with you, that's all marketing for the most part. Those products aren't that great.
Yeah.
The FDA does not like regulate skincare either. So they can put whatever they want on the label. And then when you look at the ingredient deck, it's straight trash. So, and I'm a very big ingredient buff. I read all ingredients, doesn't matter. It comes to food, skincare, like everything, anything I ingest in my body, I read the ingredients. Yeah. So I highly recommend it. And the other thing is, it's just like when you don't have to like use everything under the sun either. You can be just a basic skincare routine. Like that's not a problem either. Cleanser, toner, moisturizer, SPF too. Always.
I know.
So, I mean, when it goes to skincare, like I would go more professional route. Also, you can get better professional products with cleaner ingredients that are actually going to do something for your skin that are like a quarter of the price of the products that you're buying at Sephora or Ulta. So that's the other thing. Like it's just, and like I personally like to see results, and it's just we were going in blind when we don't know anything about it.
Right.
And like these influencers, they're killing me. I'm like, I get so frustrated. I'm like, come on, stop selling people this nonsense. I was like, and then they come in to me and their skin is messed up and I have to go back and fix it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you're literally ruining people's lives because like in their skin for your own personal gain. And I personally don't agree with that. And I think it's wrong. And I think it's not good to take advantage of people like that. Just because something works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for somebody else. So
Yeah.
always seek a professional when getting a skincare routine, at least for a virtual consultation, just so you can have some guidance.
Okay.
My
Thanks
personal
for calling
opinion.
that out. I
Yeah.
feel like all of these big influencers who I don't follow, but I just like see their names in the headlines are makeup influencers. Like that's how you get
Oh.
big, is just by doing your makeup in front of people, right?
Some
They're
of them,
big in the skincare world right now, and I've had multiple influencers literally go in my DMs and be like, "Hey, would you like to be a part of my company?" I'm like, "Yo, you do know I'm an esthetician, right? I paid like 10, 20, like 10 to $15,000 for school and my continuing education, and you're gonna tell me that you want me to come sell your skincare product?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I'm good." Like, but they're ballsy and they're just like, and it's a pyramid scheme. So like, it's just like, and I'll be honest with you, I've done the research. I look at these products that people are using. When people come into my treatment room, I tell them to tell me what products they're using. I go on my off time, go through their ingredient decks, and I'm like, no, I'll tell you whether it's good or not good, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like, and not all retail skincare is bad, but it's just like, it's all for profit. So I just can't be trusted. It can't be trusted personally.
You gotta pick
So
the right thing. Well,
yeah,
at least it's keeping you in business, girl.
yeah. I mean, it is.
I have
So
two questions though to follow up.
yeah.
What is your skin barrier? Because I have never heard about that term until you said it. So like, just can you describe that for us, please?
So your barrier is like literally the facial barrier. Okay. Like
Just
your
the
skin.
surface of your
Yeah,
skin.
the skin and like all the layers beneath it. So a lot of the times people will impair their barrier because they're using too many harsh products on their skin. Now, a lot of people think that like, oh, if I'm struggling with any type of acne or oil production, I need to dry out my skin. No, it does way more harm than good. It's and then when people come in to see me, they're over exfoliating, like they're exfoliating too much. They're using different types of exfoliants multiple times a week. They're using retinols every day. You should not do that. Like not wearing their SPF when they're like, so when they come in to see me, their skin is red. It's like super dry but oily at the same time. It's got uneven texture. It just like doesn't feel right. So the barrier is impaired. And then when you put product on somebody, even if it's the most gentle product, sometimes their skin becomes reactive. So when your barrier is so like impaired, my job, and I do this a lot, like every single person that comes to see me, my first treatment is usually barrier repair because I know so many people are not using the right things. So my whole thing is I get them hydrated. I use gentle stuff, and then their regimen is just the basics: cleanser, toner, moisturizer, SPF for the first 2 weeks. You could turn your barrier around in 2 weeks. That's the turnaround. And by 2 weeks, I can get them start doing like more active ingredients and start exfoliating again. So it's just like it does a lot to the skin. And when your barrier is impaired, that's when we're experiencing more breakouts. We're having constant redness, like, our skin is inflamed. It's just the texture is just not good. We're seeing an increase in oil production, like all these things. So like there's so many factors. And like having a healthy barrier is like the key to having healthy skin. And like as we're aging, like vibrant aging, healthy barrier. So important. So yeah, barrier, very important.
I can tell.
You and I, we're scheduling.
So
I've had skin problems my whole life, and I love that you mentioned like the oily and dry at the same time, and like you can over dry your skin out, and then your skin produces a bunch of oil to compensate, and you're breaking out, and like I'm the skin roller coaster over here. I could use your help, girlfriend. But tell the people, like, is there something that's most common that you're seeing? I guess it could be the influencer thing and people using the wrong products, but are there any other common issues that your clients are coming in with?
So honestly, like I'm an acne specialist. So I see a lot of acne clients. That's my thing. I love it. It's my my one of my number one passions. But honestly, barrier repair, 100%, almost everybody is just in the climate here. Everybody's like dehydrated. And I've honestly, from what I've been seeing, even in Chicago, when I go and work there, a lot of redness in the skin. And I haven't really gotten down. I have an idea of why that is happening, but there's a lot more people out there with just natural redness in their skin that should not be there. And it's irritated. And I think it kind of has something to do with climates and also pollution and toxicity. Just being outside in your daily life, not using the right things, not cleaning your skin and whatnot. I'm able to usually, after one treatment and then having them use the right products, get their redness down in like 2 weeks. So it's just like, and that's the barrier repair, so like once we repair the barrier, everything subsides. So I've been seeing a lot of like skin sensitivity and redness recently, like just it's like improper barrier function, and we just have to go back and like get everything balanced again. So that's what I've been seeing a lot of, definitely. And it's everywhere too. I don't know. I think it might have something to do with the environment. I'll be honest with you. Like, I really do think that. Well, the mask too, the maskne is a whole other thing in itself, which
right here, I'm like, what?
I get them here too
my
now.
mask is.
Well, I mean, what kind of masks are you using?
A plethora of different kinds of masks, but could I clean them after each use? Yeah. Do I?
Okay. So you have the reusable mask, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of detergents do you use?
Tide.
Does it have fragrance?
I don't know. Because I used to never even be able to use Tide because of my skin was sensitive to it, actually. So that's funny you bring that up. I did not even think of it. It might. Yeah.
Okay. So so this is the number one culprit, guys, for all of you listening. If you have reusable masks, so I use a gentle cleanser if I'm going to use like a reusable mask, or just use disposable and throw it out like right away. But use a detergent that doesn't have fragrance. Fragrance has pore clogging ingredients in it. So like it like leaves film all over these like your clothing and everything. So when you put this on your face, and not only that, fragrance is bad for your skin, should never go on your skin. And then this irritation that gets under there, and then that bacteria gets infected and you start breaking out. Other thing is, if you're going to dry your mask, don't use dryer sheets. Dryer sheets leave a film on everything that gets under your skin that also breaks you out. So no dryer sheets, and literally like a clean and clear, like no fragrance detergent. Very important. It usually will solve the problem. If you are still having irritation, or for my nurses out there, so I have like a lot of travel nurses that I treat. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm a magnet for nurses for some reason. And so if you're gonna wear a mask and you have like an N95, and like usually the hospital will disinfect those for you. So like whatever they're using on the mask, very irritating to the skin. So if you could just put a thin layer of Aquaphor underneath the mask, it'll create a barrier between the mask and your skin. It'll help with skin irritation, especially because it's friction, so that's irritating as well. But it will also keep any of that bad bacteria like away from your skin and keep it out of your pores. So that will help significantly as well.
Nice.
So no fragrance detergent, no dry sheets. Try to wear a disposable mask, toss them right away. That'll help. Wash your face like right after you're wearing the mask too. Like make sure you wash it, so that'll also help. And then if necessary, Aquaphor, thin layer. It is kind of weird at first, but like if you're really struggling with it, it will help. And if you are experiencing breakouts, literally the easiest thing to help spot treat it is to just put ice on it and ice them. It will bring down the inflammation. It'll calm the redness. Usually by the next day, it will have reduced in size or gone. And it speeds up the healing process, and it's free. So ice your skin, best way to calm the breakout. So
love it.
Yeah.
Easy. So easy and effective. Sounds
it
like.
is pretty, yeah, it can be if you got the right information.
Yeah.
It's like because you'd think that like you'd hear it more often, but no.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been very conscious of the detergent on our clothes. Actually, I think we use like the simple green earth detergent or whatever from Costco, but I'm going to be switching to one without plastic soon.
Nice.
But it's so funny that I didn't even carry over that same logic into like
Your
Skincare.
face,
that's on
yeah.
my face. You know what I mean? Like I've thought about like I know that dryer sheets do that, and I know detergent does that. So thank you for reminding all of us. Logic is nice.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but people don't think about it, so
That's
learn
crazy.
something new today.
Hell yeah. That's what we're here for. So, well, what does your gut health and your oral health, how does that affect your skin? Because I've heard a lot of logic and kind of science on that. And I know you and I, when I did my facial with you, we were talking about my dermatitis that I have, and you're telling me that a probiotic might help, a daily probiotic for like cleaning up my gut.
Mhm.
So what do you know about that? What can you tell us about that?
So like the gut is directly related to skin. So like honestly, the cleaner the gut, the better your all your health in general is. So anything, you are what you eat, basically, essentially. You
Yeah.
eat like shit, your skin's not going to look that great. I know that when I eat junk food, I will break out. Like I just know that. And then also like, so it's just if you eat like foods high in antioxidants and high anti-inflammatory foods, you got like a lot of turmeric in there. You're eating like fruits, blueberries, and like all that. Even chicken's like a really good one. And like if you eat the right foods and your gut is clean, your skin is going to be clean. You eat foods high in antioxidants, your skin's going to have a natural glow. Gut health is very, very important. And when it comes to oral hygiene, really the most thing about that, how it directly relates to the skin, is by the fact that certain toothpaste. So if you ever have issues with like around here with breaking out, or even like a dermatitis too, that's a flare up. So like, and I mean, yours has it calmed down?
It has a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So like,
Both of you, your skin
obviously we're
looks
doing
amazing.
something right. So, but so SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate. Everybody check your toothpaste.
I need to write this down.
Yeah, sodium lauryl sulfate. So pretty much that's like what makes the toothpaste like foam and stuff. So that is a super big pore clogging ingredient. It's an irritant. Like it is just bad for the skin. I actually had an experience where I switched up my toothpaste and didn't read the ingredient deck, and I broke out for like 2 weeks around my mouth, and I could not figure out why. And then I decided to look at my toothpaste and I went, oh my God. I was like,
There
are you
it
kidding
is.
me? I was like, oh, so I switched to Sensodyne because most Sensodyne toothpaste don't have SLS. And there's a lot of clean toothpaste out there now that don't have it either, because it's actually like really not good for you. So SLS, try to use like a toothpaste that does not have that. Also, another really good thing for gut health, also like with taking a probiotic, because probiotics, what they do is they take the bad bacteria and replace it with good bacteria. So it's like going to help with like your digestive process, and like just like cleaning out all the junk like from your system. I even do like a Khichdi cleanse, which is like an Ayurvedic cleanse. And it's like you should do it for like 7 days. It completely cleans out your gut. Also, like honestly, I swear that's like how I dropped like 10 pounds like in a month, because I was just eating this stuff because it was so delicious.
What is it? What's the recipe?
It's basmati rice. I used to work for an Indian woman, so like an Ayurvedic doctor, so that's how I know all this stuff. I directly related to Ayurveda, and everything goes through the gut with that. So it's basmati rice, yellow mung dal, and green mung dal, which is like an Indian lentil.
Oh, I
And
love
then
lentils.
you make this in like a little pressure cooker. And I have an old school one, like, so it's not like one of those Instapot. And then you put in there, like you'll throw some onions in there with oil, and then there's like cumin seeds that like pop and stuff like that. And then you throw in fresh garlic, fresh ginger, and then you can throw any like vegetables that you want, turmeric, and then there's like chili powders, and like there's like a Khichdi mix that you can get. And then you garnish it with like lemon and cilantro. Now, this all together is like packed with antioxidants, and it's like so fibrous. So it's just like it cleans your whole entire system out. I
I'm
usually
making it
eat
right
that when
now.
I'm sick. So it's just like it's really, really, really good for you. And if anybody like look up Khichdi, and it's easy to make, especially if you have a pressure cooker. You just like throw all your stuff in there. It cooks itself in like 15 minutes. So it's like, it's super awesome, but that will clean out your gut, and like, it will not only like help you like lose unwanted weight, but it will also like, you'll just feel a lot better in general. Your skin will look a lot better. Also, tongue scraping, very important.
I heard about
Scrape,
that.
yeah, if you scrape your tongue, that also aids in digestion. So like that's a whole thing too. That also stems back from the Ayurvedic perspective. So it's just
Yeah.
like that, those are some things that you can do. And it's good to do like some type of cleanse, like every once in a while, just clean out your system. Detox.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So detoxes. Okay. How
Yeah.
often do you detox? Is this something we could plan like once a month?
Honestly, you don't have to do it all that much. You could do it like couple times a year if you wanted to. You could do 3 to 7 days, but like what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to eat that like all day. And I'll be honest with you, when I did it for the first time, I wasn't doing a detox. I was just craving this stuff, and my body was just like, I want this stuff so bad. So that's what I was doing. And there are very different variations that you can make it as, and I switch it up sometimes. But you can do a 7-day cleanse. You can do it like maybe like a couple times a year if you wanted to, or you just make it as a meal and just eat it a couple times a week because it's super easy. And I was doing that for a while too. That's also very healthy just to keep your gut in check. You know, we have this thing called a digestive fire, which they call like it's the ama, which is like in our stomach in an Ayurvedic perspective. So like when we like eat really bad foods and like we're just not eating what we're supposed to, or we're like pouring like cold stuff. So like we're also supposed to drink room temperature water, especially while eating. Usually don't want to like drink anything cold because it actually does not help the digestive process. When you drink room temperature water, it helps like everything just pass through like easily. So like that's another thing. Just eat room temperature water while you're eating your meal. But yeah, so it's like it's a whole thing. It's a whole, I could go on for hours about that because like I just know a lot about it, but gut health, very important. Look up khichdi. It's delicious and it's easy to make and it will make you feel great. So
I'm gonna make it. I swear I'm gonna meal prep it tomorrow for the week now.
I should come over and like show you how to do it and we'll do it together.
Please, please.
Yeah, so
Please. I would love that.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Wow.
A lot of information.
What you got, Des?
I'm along for the ride here. I'm ready to talk more skin and gut health and all that jazz. If there's more to be given. I've not actually been paying attention to the time, so I don't know.
We have time. They gave us a free extended session.
I know that, but I know you ladies also have a game. So I just
Oh, it's totally fine.
I don't have a game. She is a game.
I have the game.
That's right. You have a game.
She has mimosas.
Yes.
Where are you guys going?
It's called Mavericks in Scottsdale. They have like indoor go-kart racing and arcade games and bowling.
That's what I'm about.
They have a big jumbotron and an outdoor patio. They're gonna have live music today.
And all that's open?
Yeah.
You have to wear your masks, right?
Not when you're in the thing. And Arizona just passed a bill that gives businesses the right to revise their mask requirements inside their business. So some businesses may just say, fuck it, you don't have to wear one.
Man,
Wild West.
the United States of do whatever the fuck you want.
I know. We're in the green categories here. We just dropped down to the green yesterday in Arizona, and we've been like fully open since what, like October, Taylor?
Yeah, we've been pretty
August.
open, and like people are coming here in droves too. Like there's people
Spring training
everywhere.
Like
Yeah.
being, like it's wild, girl. We were.
And there's no, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
We found this bar in Old Town called Patty's. They make you wear a mask on your way in, but when you get sat, you can like walk around without a mask on. You can go talk to people. Like you can go order a drink without a mask on. It's been wild, girl.
It's fun.
It's fun.
I don't even know how to feel about it. You know what I mean?
know.
It's like one part of me is like, I just want this to be over. And the other part of me is like, are you kidding? Like in the middle of a global pandemic, like this is how we're just, it's like kind of like people are just throwing in the towel. Like, yeah, we've done our time. We're just going to see how it pans out from here. You know, like, okay, but not Hawaii. We actually have the fewest cases of any state, and we're over here, you know, bars are not open, which is fine. You can go to a brewery and you have to wear your mask until you get your food. You know, you leave your contact information when you get there. Tourists are allowed in. That's great. So I'm just, every time I hear different states, I was just talking to my friend in Texas the other day, and I'm like, you guys don't give a fuck over there. He's like,
Yeah, I know. Texas is wild. And they
It's a
just
wild
froze
west.
over and they're just like, I like, it's funny over there.
I don't think Texas is in the green either. They don't give a fuck.
You're just like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much.
Football and oil money. We do what we want.
Right.
Okay,
I know,
Texas.
right?
Okay, Texas.
You
I
do
wish I
you,
could
boo
go to
boo.
this today. But no, this has been a wealth of information already. But I want to ask Taylor again, what if you can just spew some general tips on your girls that you know that our listeners might be wanting to hear. This is what you're passionate about, and so if there's any just knowledge that you could share with us about general stuff that's come in. You've shared a lot about skincare and the similar problems people share, but anything else that people come in or how it affects people mentally when they make these changes, because I feel like that's a really big factor, like the confidence that how my confidence personally is affected, for example, with when my skin's really broken out or if it's clear, like, do I want to show my face? Like even today, I'm like, I'm literally peeling and broken out and I'm just like, all right, let's get on camera. I feel great. So I'm just wondering if you could speak a little bit about, you know, how what you do helps women on the whole and their confidence and their love for themselves.
Yeah, so I'm an acne specialist. So I see some of the, like, you think your skin's like bad until you see somebody that's really got it like way worse.
Mhm.
And what I do is like, I give them, yeah, when they come in for my consultation, it's like 45 minutes long. I go over absolutely everything that you could possibly think of. And usually when people come see me, like they've already tried everything. They've been to the dermatologist, they've been on Accutane, they've tried like all different types of products and nothing's worked. And so when they come see me, they're at like their last resort. And I love what I do for the fact of the transformation in general. And I tell my clients at their first consultation, usually I'm like, listen, so I don't wear makeup. Like the way my face looks like right now is what it is. I wear skincare product. My goal is to get each and every one of my clients to a place where they're confident enough not having to wear makeup. And I tell them that immediately. And I also tell them that I'm a result-driven esthetician. I'm not going to give you anything just to give it to you. It's not about money to me. I want to see results and I want to and I will walk them through it the whole way. I will check in with my clients every 2 weeks. Like, you know, like I will text them. I'm very available to them and I make sure that they have the guidance where they feel confident. If they have questions, I'm right there. And I've seen some transformations that are, if you look at my Instagram, I've got some crazy stuff on there.
Oh, I have.
Yeah. And like, I just talked to one of my virtual clients earlier and I'm going to be posting her transformation in just 6 weeks has been so stunning. And she was so broken and she's just like so over the moon with the fact that she feels so much better about herself and her skin and just seeing people's confidence just go through the roof when they were feeling so beaten down and they just feel like this is me and my skin. I don't need to cover it up. I'm beautiful the way that I am. And to be honest with you, everyone deserves to have that. And to be honest with you, it's temporary. Everything can be fixed. And it's okay. You just have to go and reach out to somebody who's able to fix it. And you don't have to walk around with the scarring and the pigmentation. You don't have to walk around with the breakouts. I know there's a lot of acne positivity nowadays, but I just want people to know that you don't have to cover it up. You can get to a place where you don't have to wear makeup. You know, just like search out the right guidance. And I love seeing their confidence. And I think probably like 90% of my clientele now that used to wear makeup to cover up their skin does not wear makeup anymore unless they go out to special occasions. So that's how great they feel about their skin and themselves. So the confidence thing, just watching them transform and like seeing them light up, like when they walk in and they're all excited for their appointments because they know that their skin's going to be feeling amazing for like the next few weeks. It's just like, it's a great feeling, and it makes me absolutely love what I do to be able to be a part of that, and like just really improves someone's self-esteem. Because I feel like when you look good, you feel good.
Mhm.
Amen.
You know, you're powerful. You know,
The way you feel about yourself affects your entire life. I'm
exactly.
convinced. I'm convinced at this point, you know, like, so you're doing a great service to people with
And
this.
that's the thing, is like I'm an all natural person. So it's like, you know, you see a lot of these like girls out here nowadays and like everything's so fake all the time.
Oh, yeah,
And
and
like,
fat
you know,
girls
it's like
especially.
nobody's face actually looks like that. You know what I mean? Like, and they're all over Instagram and they're making you feel kind of like shit because it's like you're not as like done up as they are. But really, natural beauty is just as like it's perfect to me. You know what I mean? Like if you're naturally beautiful, I feel like it says a lot. You know what I mean? And everybody is naturally beautiful in their own way. And when their skin's on point, it makes like a huge difference. And also it cuts down your time in the morning to get ready because
Right.
all you have to do is throw on your skincare products, throw on some mascara, and you're out the door. You know what I mean? So it's just like, who wants to take an hour putting on all that makeup just to take it off later?
Well,
It's like, you know, so everybody has the ability to get to that place just as long as they like ask the right people for help, and all of it's temporary and all of it can be fixed. So it's like your skin doesn't have to be, you know, in a shitty place. It could be the best that it is possibly can be for you. And you could walk out of your house looking bomb without makeup and just skincare products.
hell
It's
yeah.
like, so yeah.
I love that. I hope you know just how much you're doing and how special that is and how much of a difference you're making.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah,
1000%.
I love it.
So basically, everybody go book a session with Taylor right now.
Personally, I'm going to. I was just about to see a dermatologist, but I was like, you know what? I like you. I'm gonna come see you.
I have a little bit of a like, me and the derm don't get along very well because like the derm for me, they prescribe people stuff out of the drugstore, Cetaphil and like the CeraVe stuff. The products aren't that great. They don't tell you how to use them. And honestly, most of the time when you go to see them, they just write you a script and they don't tell you how to use the antibiotic or whatever they gave you. To be honest with you, it kind of reminds me of like a psychiatrist. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like you go see them and they just give you a pill and they send you on your way. Like they don't go down to the root of the problem. And the thing is that there is always a root of the problem and that root can be fixed. But why would we cover it up with medication? That's just not, it's not, there's an easier, healthier way to do it. And my way is more holistic. It's not going to mess with your hormones. There's no side effects. Like, you know what I mean? So like I just like going the natural route. People can go to the derms. I think the derms are great when it comes to like skin cancer stuff, like, you know, like stuff that I can't do. But when it comes to like basic skincare and skin health, not really a big fan of what they
See Taylor.
recommend.
See
So,
Taylor.
yeah. So
So
it's all good.
speaking of the root of the problem, this just brought up a question that I'm really interested in asking. I recently heard that skincare or skin health issues present themselves because of underlying emotional baggage and people holding on to like frustration or anger. It expresses itself through like acne or the
Mhm.
blemishing or the dermatitis. So have you heard that as well, or what do you know about
Yeah.
that?
So there's a lot that goes down to that. So hormonal acne too. Hormones
Oh yeah.
affect, that's usually a chin and jawline. So you know that so usually women break out around their ovulation period, like ovulation period or their cycle in general. That usually shows up right around here. That's how you know it's hormonal. Stress related breakouts totally happen all the time. And it's because like our body, like when we're in fight or flight mode, like, and we're stressed out all the time, our body like releases these like stress hormones, and these stress hormones like just overproduce and it comes out in our skin. So it's like, yeah, the more cool, calm, and collected you are, like the better your skin's gonna be. You know what I mean? So it's like taking other ways to like manage that too is like going to be very, very helpful. I see a lot of issues with stress related breakouts with my nurses. And it's because they work very long hours and they're usually under a lot of stress. And it's just like, And it's hard to maintain, but it's like, that's an internal thing, like there's things that you can do like meditation and like all that, even for me, like when I was going through some like very stressful periods in my time, I'm not very into like medicine at all. I don't even really take an aspirin. But I've done like St. John's wort, and that actually helped my anxiety a lot. So like there's things that you can do, but that is definitely directly correlated. You just gotta like figure out ways to like kind of calm yourself down. And when you are calm, your skin is calm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, to be honest with you, the skin is the biggest organ on our body and like the most neglected. And like, for some reason, this outer shell that we have, people just don't care about. Don't wear our SPF. What protects our whole entire body, and we don't take care of it. And and we also need to take care of our internal selves, because that comes out like in our external self. You know what I mean? So it's all like health and wellness is like all put together. It's like everything is connected. The healthier you are, the better, the more aware you of what you put into your body, and like your mindset too, all affects your skin. So it's a whole thing. It's all entangled.
Yeah.
So, it is.
It's all connected.
Science.
And it's like science. And you can't.
Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, the science guy.
Science rules.
I know.
One thing that I heard recently in a podcast was about someone who did face yoga. And I noticed, like me, I'm trying desperately to like relax my face, and I'm wrinkled here all the time. I'm like so tense, like a caveman all the time. And I'm trying, I'm trying to stop this. So anyway, I've heard about face yoga, and I'm wondering if you've heard anything about that, and like how strengthening the muscles can help prevent wrinkles, because you're just so, strong there that the muscles are dense. And have you heard anything about this?
Oh yeah.
Is it?
So I utilize like a lot. I utilize a lot of facial massage during my treatments. That's a very big part of what I do. Now I have the same thing. I have big expression lines. For me, I'm gonna start microderming my forehead, and literally, because I don't want to get Botox, and I'm gonna microderm my forehead. I'm gonna chemical peel it. I'm also doing this with multiple of my clients, because I'm like, I'm doing it, so like we're gonna do it together, and I'm just putting it in their treatment. We're all doing the same thing. Whatever I can fit, usually like 60 minutes, I'll just do it like the price that it is. So that is very significant. So like you could do like gua sha and like any other like facial massage. So the way that you help with at least the lines. Now our expressions up here, like they're not going to go away, but you can make the lines appear a lot less, so like by exfoliating, you can make them appear like a lot less, more hydration. You can work out like any of these areas. Like I honestly recommend getting a gua sha stone and like just really working on those lines with like a hydrating mask or a really hydrating or an oil serum, and just working it in. And like even the jade rollers, I use those all the time. And that'll make a big difference. But the other thing is that like we literally we work out our bodies, but we don't work out our face. And it makes no sense. To be honest,
that's what she said. And I was like,
there are more muscles on like in the face than there are like, in the body too. Like there's like a lot, like, you know what I mean? So it's just like the amount of like
face yoga is very humorous. You got to hold funny positions, like, oh, why?
I mean, that's like a little bit excessive. I think you can get away with it with a stone. And to be honest with you, you can make the like lines lessen. So the more hydrated your skin is, the more plump, supple, and firm it is, which means that will decrease the appearance of fine lines. It'll also really hold this together. You do a really good hydrating. I got a kick-ass hydrating mask that's sperm collagen mask from Green Energy. I swear, when I put this thing on and I put my jade roller, roll it in, my forehead does not move. It like literally is insane. And it's just like, it's like my favorite thing right now. But if you just keep your skin hydrated and work on exfoliating this area too, like that will help reduce the lines, because with exfoliation, especially manual, it's like sandpaper on wood. So like what does sandpaper do to wood? It buffs out imperfections. Then when you add hydration on top of that in that same little regimen period, and then you really push it into the skin with like a jade roller or gua sha, that really helps that penetrate. And you're working in those lines and they virtually just like kind of disappear. It's hard to make them completely go away without the use of Botox, because that paralyzes this. but it's something that we don't want to go the Botox route. We just have to keep working at it. You know what I mean?
Okay, I have to ask now. Okay, so I've always been anti-Botox, okay? I've always been anti-Botox. Now I'm almost 30 and I have these 2 forehead wrinkles. I'm serious. They are more pronounced than all of my counterparts, okay? You guys don't have these deep ass caverns on your forehead.
I have them too right here.
I've thought about Botox. I have some friends who've gotten it and I'm like, maybe I should, because I truly don't want to be like 45 with 2 gashes in my forehead. So tell us about, if you can, why we shouldn't get Botox. I mean, I'm definitely going to try other alternatives first still, but I'm just like feeling kind of desperate.
It's not like you shouldn't get Botox. Now it is like a toxin that goes, like, it's a toxin and it goes and it paralyzes the muscles in your face and your forehead. All right. And the thing is that it just paralyzes it. You have to get it redone every 3 months. So like, if it's not cost effective to you, then I wouldn't do it. It's not like it's a bad thing. Honestly, it just really all depends. I might do it at some point too, because I've got the same thing right now. I've been looking at mine. I'm like, oh my God, this is getting so bad. And I have such an expressive face. And it's just like, ugh. But I'm going to try every route I can before I have to go to that. You know what I mean? And like, honestly, like the most key thing that you can do, like I said, exfoliation and hydration. The more hydrated your skin is, the more like plump and supple and firm it is. So this is going to stay like, but the muscles here are so strong that without paralyzing them, there's not much you can do. But you can keep buffing it out and keep working on it so it's not as pronounced. You know what I mean? Botox isn't a terrible thing. It's something a lot of people get. You know, I might go to the Botox route at some point. I don't know. I'm 28, so I want to push it off for as long as I possibly can. But I will be honest that Botox will paralyze that area so that you won't get like any more lines. So then you can work on like reducing them because you're not making more by your facial expressions because it's not moving. So it's not like a bad thing.
I'm saying you're not really deterring me a whole lot.
No, it's not a terrible thing. It really is just all personal preference. And there's some things that we can and just cannot do. And I personally cannot just paralyze your forehead and make them go away. But I can make them look like they're not really there as much, but they'll always come back unless you have something keeping it from moving like that. So,
okay.
Honest
Interesting.
opinion. So.
Very, very interesting.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Well, let's see here.
Did you want to talk CBD? I think you mentioned Taylor is a proponent for CBD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about CBD.
So I have my little like marijuana necklace right here. The matching earrings. So I've actually been using a lot of CBD products recently. I love the way they work. I love the way they feel. Now, I'll be honest with you, CBD is it's more niche. Okay. Like if you're like a stoner and you like weed, you know, like you're gonna like want to use that. Great ingredient. CBD does so much. It's like anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, it's calming, it's soothing, it's great for like anti-aging, like, but in all honesty, it's a plant-based ingredient, just like all the other plant-based ingredients that I use. So like, and everything has their role. So it is a little bit more niche, like for the people, but honestly, I've been using it and I love it. But it's also like now it also helps you with penetration, like into the skin, like it's also calming and soothing. So there's like salves and all of that you can use, bath bombs, like there's just a lot of benefits to it. I love doing CBD treatments. Like those are like one of my favorite things to do when I go to Chicago. I just crank out CBD treatments because everybody over there loves the CBD.
Wow.
You know, and it's very relaxing.
Yeah.
I did a CBD treatment on this one guy, and it was his first treatment, and his girlfriend got him a Groupon, and he comes and lays down. And I was like, looked at him, and I was like, hey, how do you feel about CBD? And he was like, CBD, THC, I love it all. And I was like, all right, cool. So I was like, I brought him in my room. I don't usually do CBD treatments on Groupons because like Groupon's like nothing. But I gave him a CBD treatment, his first facial ever. He absolutely loved it. When he got up, he was so zenned out. Like I do like arm and shoulder massage, like this 200 milligram full spectrum massage oil. Oh my God, it's like amazing. And like He literally, when he was done, he like walked right into the door before walking out. He was like so out of it. And I was like, his skin looked great. And CBD is awful, like it's amazing on so many levels and it does so much for people. But like I said, it's just another plant-based ingredient, just like every other plant-based ingredient. And they're all effective in their own way.
Mhm.
So it's just like, it's great. I love it. I've been using it a lot. But you also got to remember that it's more of an additive like effect because all of the ingredients in their products are this like similar ingredients that would be in other products. They just added CBD into it and
Yeah.
hemp seed oil and like all that. So it's great. My skin feels awesome. I've been using like a bunch of my Color Up CBD is what it's called.
Color Up.
And they're out of Denver, Colorado, and they're absolutely awesome. Great for hydration. Every single person that's had like the Glow CBD mask that I've used on, it's like, oh my God, they're obsessed with it. Every single person bought it after I had them get a sample of it. So it's just like, it's really, I love CBD. It's really great. But like I said, it's just like more of a, like a niche thing. It's not for everybody, but it is great to have for skincare.
Love
100%.
it.
Yeah.
I
Everybody's
just
got
grabbed this
preferences.
because you got me so excited because I have I was using just CBD lotions and stuff. I had a surgery 2 years ago, but this one is CBD with THC.
Oh
It
yeah, that makes a
takes
difference.
away your pain. And honestly, like if I have a headache, I literally just like I'm just gonna do it now because it smells amazing and stuff. So and I just put it on my temples and my headache's gone in 5 minutes. It's not even a joke. Like I just been just taking this with me like a psycho.
What is in there? Do you
Wow.
know? I'm just curious. Is there,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
probably like is there like any like a eucalyptus or like a tea tree or like what is, it's got to be
Oh,
calming or
great stuff.
minty or something.
Safflower seed oil, glycerin. Let's see here. Vitamin E, aloe vera,
Yeah.
marigold flower extract, chamomile flower extract.
Also, it's very calming.
It's Hawaiian sandalwood, which explains this amazing scent. Oh my God, I could just
Yep, the
smother
sandalwood.
this
Yep,
in my
yep,
whole
yep,
body.
yep. So like a lot of, yeah, it depends. That one's like a definitely more of like calming. Usually a lot of them like have like any type of salves and stuff. Like they like to usually throw some type of menthol or stimulate, like, you know, 'cause it really
Yeah,
like helps penetrating. But
yeah.
that's like probably I could pinpoint the scents right now of what that probably smells like. And it probably smells amazing.
I
Yeah.
have a gel. It's funny you said that because I have a gel. It's called a gel. It's a little more watery than a gel and it's not as thick as a salve, but that one's mentholy. It's like peppermint or something, but it will take away your pain. I'm telling you, like
100%. Yeah.
people like this, it's nuts.
Yeah, and like using a THC like based product is awesome. Like there's a whole thing about the market and everything about CBD products being sold. But CBD, it has 0.03% like THC in it, so it's virtually like not even there. Like you will never like they can say 0% like 0% THC, but honestly, like that's not really possible for the most part. But when you add THC in with the CBD, that's when you get the potent stuff.
It amplifies everything.
Oh yeah, THC is the bomb. So it's just like it will do everything for you. It's just like it's just like no, most people don't want the effects of the THC because like you probably do feel it. Like you know what I mean? You feel a little bit of it. It's penetrating in your bloodstream. Yeah. So that's awesome. I would like to get my hands on some of that. So
You will. Well, yes, you will. I'll get you some.
Send us the link or something, Des.
yeah.
You can't buy it online. This is exclusive Hawaii shit. You know what I mean?
I want it.
I guess we gotta visit. I guess we have to go visit, Taylor.
You're gonna have to bring the asses out here.
So about it. Perfect.
Well, Taylor, when we end every interview, we ask 5 questions. It's like a speed round of questions just to get to know our person a little bit more, I guess. Just fun.
So buckle up.
We call them the 5 ways to blaze.
Run it.
Are you ready? Are you ready for these?
I'm ready to go.
No.
All right.
Maybe after this.
I tell myself.
All right. So first of all, first question, first way to blaze, Taylor, what is your favorite tool for learning or self-development?
So I'm like a very hands-on learner. So I really like to be in classes personally. I even have it's kind of creepy. I have a doll head that I got in school like years ago. And I actually practice like some facial massage and like all that on there. Yeah. So like when I'm doing new treatments, like my roommates used to hate this thing because it was like sitting there and like they'd be like, this thing's creepy, you know, but it's like a little ball doll head. So I do that. I also do tons of research like all the time. I'm always taking new classes, whether it's like online or in person. Like I'm always furthering my education consistently. So research development is like a huge thing. And just like going out and like, because the aesthetic industry is always like just growing. And like things that are around right now, when I was in school like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, these things weren't around, you know what I mean? So like I'm like old school, I gotta keep working on myself to like keep up with the times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it's constant work, constant like even like research on like business, like, you know, like, and like I said, finances and all that. Like I'm just constantly learning, reading, researching, whatever I could possibly do to just learn more. Like knowledge is power. And it's just like, you know, the more you know, like the more you know, like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, knowledge, learning all the time, reading. Anything I can get my hands on to learn. I love new information. I just crave it and like soak it up like a sponge. So it's just like, yeah. So that's pretty much where that goes. But I am hands on too. So
Good.
Awesome. Yeah. If you fail to do that, then you become obsolete. So good for you for staying on the ball, especially in your industry. Like you said, it's always changing.
100%. And there's a bunch of people doing the exact same thing I am. So how can I be different? So you know what I mean? So
keep growing, keep learning. Love it.
Okay, question number 2. What are you doing to make a difference in the world?
So I mean, I think I'm making a difference in the world by like every single person that comes into my treatment room, giving them the confidence that they need, you know what I mean? Or like the confidence in their natural skin, you know, and like even like my acne program, that's usually a huge deal because just to see the people come in, like, you know, and after I've been working with them a couple months and every time they come in, they're even more excited to show me what their skin looks like. They're like, oh my God, like every time they take off their mask, they're like, look at my face. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I literally, I get so excited every time I see my clients and they come in and I'm like, you look freaking amazing. I am like the biggest hype man, dude. Like I like literally like all my clients when they come in to see me, like I get more excited than they are like about their skin. And there's actually like, so one thing that I want to do that I'm going to work on, and this has been a goal of mine for like a while. I actually want to do pro bono work in the future, and I want to work with people that are in rehabilitation, and I want to go like, because a lot of people that are in like rehabilitation, like rehab centers and everything, they're going through a lot of stuff and it's very like traumatic and like they're detoxing it off like drugs, alcohol, and their skin is absolute like it's just bad. So, and like usually their like confidence is so freaking low that it's just like it's hard for them to stay sober. So like I want to go in and like reach out to these rehab centers and like pick one person for like a program for like maybe like every 3 months, because that's how my program usually, that's how long it lasts, that's how long it takes to get the clear skin. And I want to be able to like work on them while they're working on their internal selves, so that they like can get that confidence back to like when they get out into the real world, that maybe they'll actually want to stay sober, you know what I mean? And like feel confident to like walk into a job interview and not be like, look at my face, like, you know what I mean? Like it's a disaster right now, because that's what happens. Like when you're going through stuff like that, like your skin will, it all comes out through your skin. And a lot of people go through like issues with that. So it's just like, even drug use in general, people constantly picking at their skin. So it's like, that's like one way I want to like give back to the community, like in the future, is like really go, because these are the people that like nobody cares about and nobody wants to help. So it's just like, if I can go back and I can like help them out, like one person at a time, I think you can make a difference, and maybe it'll keep them from doing, you know, bad things, like, you know, like, you know, getting like back into drugs or alcohol and just staying straight. So it's just, and it's a whole confidence thing. So that's like one of my goals. I'm like going to be working on it when I'm like pretty like established and I'm able to. that's going to be something that I'm going to do like pretty consistently.
I love that.
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
gosh. I love that so much. Please let us know how we can help you on that journey and support you. I'm 100% like on board. And I love, gosh, I wish we had time to talk about this all separately, but I love what you're doing. I think you're totally right with the thought process and getting people the reform that they deserve. And you're right. It's an underrepresented group of people. And I love, love, love that that's in your game plan.
yeah, it definitely is. It's like a big goal of mine. So I'm hoping to transform that into something that's absolutely possible and give people like the chance that they absolutely deserve. So like,
Yeah.
you know,
I
yeah.
have an idea for you offline. So
Okay.
I'll text it to you while you're having mimosas, but you're going to make me
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Taylor, third question. You are so good at helping others care for themselves. So what is your personal favorite form of self-care?
So I have a few. So I'm an artist. I don't know if you
Yes.
guys can see, but there's like a bunch of like paintings on my walls. And so like I paint a lot. And I also play music. So I play guitar. And if I could get a piano in here, I would. But like some of the things that are very like important to me are art and music. And like they just, it's like my safe space, and like writing too. Like I just it takes me away from everything. So like my self-care is just creating. I love to create. I'm very good with my hands. Like anything to do with my hands is like my hands are my everything. If I didn't have these, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Because everything I just create. And then also like just love going out into nature. I love camping. I love disconnecting too from like social media and everything. It's hard to get away sometimes. But I just like, and I'll bring my art supplies out to like the mountains and stuff, and I'll go like and actually just, you know, I'll take my oil pastels and I'll just draw and just hang out, and like I'll do some like writing or creative writing and like just write anything that I'm feeling down, my thoughts. So like my form of self-care is just like, you know, utilizing my talents as also like, I wouldn't like to say it as like an escape, but it's like also like kind of is at the same time. So like, you know, it's just great. It's a great feeling to just get your thoughts out and then watch it turn into something beautiful, whether it's word or sound or like, you know, art, you know, all of it's art, but yeah, art's a huge part of my life. So, you know, that's my like form of self-care significantly, and hanging out with friends, Julie.
Yes. Girl, we still have to do that wine and paint night, and I'm so down to go like on a hike and do some drawing with you sometime. That sounds dope.
I know I need to go to the mountains very soon.
Let's go on a hike
yeah,
soon.
I'm down.
What is it? The mountains, they're calling.
They're calling us.
Literally. Yes, I literally have this tattoo on my arm for a reason. And it says it's Elvish because I'm a very big Lord of the Rings fan, and The Hobbit. I have it on the back of my Jeep too. And it says, "Not all those who wander are lost" in Elvish.
Oh.
And I'm a free spirit, so I love, which is where the name comes from. But like, I just love adventure. So we need adventure in our life, Julie.
I'm down, girl.
We gotta go.
Let's do stuff. Let's do fun things all the time. That's all I'm here for.
Guys, you gotta come adventure with us, and then we'll come to you.
Oh fuck yeah! I mean, yeah.
She's coming for a facial treatment and a consultation, Taylor.
What we could do is like we could do a girls like trip and just go up to the mountains and just scheme stuff, because I'm just
shrooms.
We should absolutely.
I know.
I've actually done this once in Colorado already. I had some shrooms and went on a 10-mile hike, and honestly, it was one of the most beautiful experiences of my entire life. And I would love to do it again. I
want to do it. I've never done it before. Taylor, help me for my first time, okay?
Just take it easy. You'll be all right. It's just like weed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Honestly, I don't trip like that. I just like do like little microdoses, but they're great. Absolutely love it. And honestly, I think going out to nature, and like I love to scheme stuff all the time. I am constantly thinking and like trying to create new ideas all the time. If we go out to the mountains and go kick it out in nature, I don't know what we could come up with, but I'm sure it would be freaking awesome. You know, we'll probably come back with a bunch of stuff. So
yes,
we should do it.
Freaking do it. Let's freaking do it.
About it.
All right, question number 4, Des. Your favorite one. I'm gonna let you ask it.
Thank you. This is my favorite one because I think it's muy importante. Taylor, how do you celebrate your successes?
So I celebrate my successes with,
A White Claw.
honestly, well, I do like to go out. She knows that.
There's no shame in that either.
But I really, really like to celebrate my successes by going and traveling and doing like new experiences and having new experiences and also meeting new people. Like I'm a very big people person.
Very
And
big.
I literally thrive off people's vibes. And when I'm like in a celebratory mood, I want to celebrate with everybody. And I'm like, I don't care if I don't know you. I want you to have fun with me. I'm in a good mood. You're in a good mood. Let's talk. Let's hit, like, I just, anything new experiences, new traveling, going somewhere new, meeting new people, inviting them into like whatever I'm like celebrating at that moment is I just want everybody to feel good with me. You know what I mean? All at the same time, positive vibes all the way around. So
Good vibes, girl.
that's how I celebrate it.
I love it.
We're having a good day. Like me, Julie, and Andrew go out and we like celebrate our good day together.
Hell
So
yeah.
it's like a whole thing. So
Hell yes.
yeah, it's a good
I
time.
love it. Girl, you are such a people person and so extroverted, and I love your vibes. I love going out with you because that's totally who you are. You're such a free spirit. So
Oh my gosh, it's bad.
So-
I know sometimes like we'll go to the bar and like literally I will get lost and they won't talk to me for the rest of the night. Like literally, I'm like gone. Like they like it's just like
we're sitting here like, where's Taylor? Oh, she's over there talking to that group of people. And she'll be like gone for hours.
I feel like we're so similar.
I know.
Yeah, we probably have a lot of fun.
All three of us together, hell yes.
Oh shoot.
Oh shit.
Especially with the shrooms.
All right, Taylor, last question. What inspires you to be your best self every day of your life?
Well, to be honest with you, like I said earlier, my life's been like pretty challenging. I've been through a lot of challenging stuff. Honestly, I've even thought about like creating, like I always thought about like writing a book or something. Like I've been through a lot. And my life has always thrown me freaking curveballs. And everything that I've had to do, I've had to work very, very, very hard to get it. So my thing is to see the hurdles that I've come over and I've like made through myself. Like I look back and I'm like, I don't even know how I even managed to do that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just keep it pushing and I just like, I keep getting better and better and better and better. And, and it's just like, so because of that, it's like, I'm on a constant quest for self-improvement. And after I look back at myself now and I go, I don't even know how you did that. Like, that's insane. I'm like, how did you even live through that? And like, now I'm just like, now my challenges aren't as bad as they were when I was younger. So it's like makes me look at things like I can really do freaking anything. And like anything that I absolutely want, I can have it. Like I just have to put myself in the right situations to get it. So like, and I really just think that like I'm very like big into being like a genuine person. I'm honest, I'm friendly. I literally have like a big heart. I have so much love to give everybody. I love everybody. Like, and it's just like, there's very few people that I'm like, I can't stand you. Like, I like literally, I just want to always have good positive vibes and like, just keep improving myself because like literally the possibilities are endless at this point. And like anything that comes in my way, I'm going to be able to, like work through it and get through it. And honestly, like I said, with working with my massage therapist, the more I've been working with like for myself and with myself, the more the universe has been responding with like the right things. And that's really got me like going. And I'm just going to keep going and going and going and seeing what happens and what plays out next. I'm super excited about the future, super excited with my own personal confidence, like everything. Like I've been exuding confidence recently.
Yes,
like it's like literally been a thing. And I'm just like, I feel like I'm in the prime of my life right now. I'm 28 years old. I'm a business owner. I got my own place. I live by myself. I am like that shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Bitch.
Yes, girl, you
Literally,
blazing the trail.
I have this right here, my little like thing that I got, and it's like, you are in fact that shit. This is my mantra.
I love that.
I saw that on your Instagram too, and I was like, okay, okay.
I'm like, yeah, let's go. And like, you know, and the more that you build on yourself, the more you improve your confidence and your self-worth and everything, the better vibrations, the better like people you attract. So
Hallelujah.
I'm working on building my inner circle too, like super dope inner circle, Julie. Like, you know,
Girl,
so
yes,
like,
yes. We did an
every
episode on
day,
Inner Circle.
every day is self-improvement.
Yes,
So.
every single day. There's always something in every day that you can take and learn from it and keep moving
Exactly.
forward. So Taylor, you're so confident, you're so beautiful, you're so amazing. This was such a great conversation today. You did great. I know you were nervous, but you did absolutely phenomenal.
Oh.
So
I had no
You guys
idea.
were nervous.
you did not even act nervous at all. So you killed the game today, girl. And you look great. I love your dress.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
thank you so much for recording this show with us today. We had so much fun. I know Des, I can see the wheels turning in her head. She's excited to meet you.
Absolutely. Likewise. Let's go. Let's go on our like quest for like, you know, taking over the world. I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm down. I'm
Build some
down.
empires.
Blazing this trail. For
Let's
real.
go.
Yeah, we're building it.
I got it. Totally.
So
All right,
Taylor, where
ladies
can
have
our,
an amazing. Oh no, go. You go ahead. Sorry.
sorry, I was just gonna have her plug in her social media and stuff. So if you wanted to say anything more before then. Okay. So Taylor, tell the listeners where they can find you on social media and just where to look you up.
Okay. So on Instagram, I am freespirit_aesthetics. On Facebook, that's my business Facebook. That's Free Spirit Aesthetics at Free Spirit Aesthetics. Honestly, I'm not on there that much. Instagram's the way to go. That's my favorite place. And then my website is www.freespiritaesthetics.co. And on there, you can find a bunch of information about like the products I use and also about my acne program and like how I can do it like virtual consultations and everything. You also book virtual consultations through there. Like, you know, you can DM me. I will always respond when I get a chance. But Instagram's the way to go. I got lots of good information. I got dope before and afters. I've got a little bit of everything. I got manifestation work, positive vibes. Like, you know, like I'm always speaking high vibrational shit. So I'm like, let's go tune in. Like, you know, I'm always posting about positivity. So you'll never see anything negative on my stuff. So if you like looking, if any of that's your vibe, like follow me.
Follow her.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. Like,
thank you.
Even more information than I thought I was going to get today.
Seriously, I don't even know half the time. Like, I just spew out information and I'm just like, I don't even know. Like, it's ridiculous.
You speak very confidently and you obviously know your stuff. Like you're talking, I was like, is there like a board behind you with everything written down or in front of you? Like, this is amazing.
No, but like I have these like papers written out that like I didn't even look at them the whole time.
Oh, that's good.
Did you see the doc, Des? She like went ham in the doc.
I saw that she put all the answers in, and I'm like, you know what? Wow, what an achiever.
Yeah. Yes. And honestly, we probably didn't even scratch the surface. Like we could probably talk for like 3 or 4 more hours all about skincare. Probably longer. So
yeah.
So Taylor, thank you so much for spending your Saturday morning with us. We really appreciate it. And
absolutely.
Let's go get mimosas now. What do you think?
I'm ready.
Woo!
Des, I'll drink one for you. It was so nice to meet you.
I'm so sad.
I know. I wish you were there in spirit. Maybe we'll FaceTime you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rub a bunch of this over my face and fall asleep.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
Legit, guys.
All right, guys. Have fun.
This was so fun. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Des. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. See you later.
Soon.